Welcome to another episode of Ozfish. Dave here, let's get some. Well, I haven't made a video in about 2 to 3 months. My mother and father passed away 3 months apart recently, so I've been tied up with a lot of family matters. And just to top it off, for the last 3 weeks I've had a really serious chest infection and I haven't been able to work or fish. So anyway, I'm actually keen to get back into a little bit of fishing. I'm keen to get back into creating a little bit of content for you guys. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do a series of about half a dozen episodes. It's going down the rabbit hole in relation to targeting school jewfish in the river and also targeting bigger fish in the dark on bigger lures. So I'm able to fish on the beach. I've learned how to fish on the beach. I've learned how to catch dew on the beach, and I'm going pretty well with that. I've sort of got the live baiting down in the river, the bait fishing in the river, fishing for dew, and I'm pretty consistent with that. But one thing I really haven't done over the years is really gone down the rabbit hole in relation to targeting school dew in the river. And what I haven't really done is sort of gone down the rabbit hole and put enough effort in relation to chasing big fish in the dark on big lures, which is probably the most difficult sort of dew fishing you can do. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got a fair bit of knowledge in relation to the river. I've been on the river since I was very young with my father. So I do know a lot of the migration lines that the jewfish travel in the river. By that I mean places where the dew are either transiting through or travelling to get to spots where they're going to feed, or actually spots in the river where they do come to quite consistently and do actively feed. But I certainly don't know everything, and there's certainly a lot to learn. And as fishermen, we just don't know half as much as we think we actually know. And you can catch the jewfish in all different sorts of areas, in all different sorts of scenarios in the river. Sometimes in deep water, sometimes in water that's more shallow. So they sort of get around all over the place. The Hunter River is really cool. It's unique because there are just so many different opportunities to kind of like fish. Like, you know, you'll have rock walls, you'll have bridges, you know, there's huge amounts of man-made structure in the river, like wharves and pontoons, and you know, we're blessed with having 2 really huge breakwaters, which the jewfish frequent quite often. So there's a lot to do, a lot to learn. So in the next 6 episodes, I'll run through the gear that I've chosen to use in relation to targeting those jewfish, some of the lures that I've chosen to use to try to catch those fish, and some of the techniques when you're actually fishing, and also just a little bit in relation to you know, the tides, the weather, different things like that. Does moon phase affect them? Do bigger and smaller tides affect the dew? But really it's trying to work out where they are on the system at a particular time. So I think that's the kind of key. So anyway, I hope you'll stick with me over the next 6 episodes. I'm going to put a fair bit of work in and just see if I can catch some jewfish. My biggest jewfish in a lure so far is about 27 kilo, and I've caught multiple fish, you know, 50 pound, you know, 40 pound on lures, lots of smaller fish, but I'd really love to get a fish, you know, above 27 kilo. That's really my goal. But anyway, let's get on it, see how I go. Okay, so this is a beautiful Ian Miller Vibe Freak rod. It has a beautiful Shimano Stratic 2,500, 10 pound braid, 20 pound leader. And I'm just going to go with a 1/2 ounce jig head and a beautiful jerk shad. I'm just utilising the electric motor just to try to slow myself up a little bit in the tide. I'm going to start on the inside. I'm going to work out a little bit, keep my eye on the sounder. It's pretty interesting here. The bottom's undulating in places, which are kind of good because you would think that the fish may be in behind those undulations, ambushing bait. So always make sure we check the drag. Give it a go. I don't want to get in too close to those rock wall. I don't want to get too greedy and lose my lures. It's reasonably deep here. So I think you're going to need every bit of half an ounce to get down. Just going to give small double flicks because the tide's running pretty hard. Want to keep the lure fairly close to the bottom. I definitely don't want, the moment that lure hits the bottom, I want to just pop it up. I don't want it drifting in the current and getting hooked up. I want the lure to kind of fall on just a semi-slack line. Get it to fall natural, but staying in enough contact if I get hit to strike a fish. Lure fishing is just rinse and repeat. Just keep putting them in. The E Miller rod casts really nice. It's a very versatile rod. Good on vibes. Good on medium-sized blades. Really good on a jerk bait for flathead. Good all-round rod. Nice outfit. Nice and light. Oh, there's a fish. It didn't take long on the jerk shad. They do like a jerk shad. Could be a flathead. And I'm after a few flathead because I actually want to have a cook-up with my new cob system with Brandon. I'm going to pick up Brandon later. Not too bad a fish. Down a bit deeper in that current. Nice flathead. Beautiful. All right, really nice fish for the, so that's a really nice fish. Great fish for not fishing for 3 weeks and just to start off this series. Caught on a jerk shad. So I caught that flathead on the Shad Impact 4-inch Keytech. Now they are a absolutely beautiful lure with a beautiful action, but the one downside to them is that they're very soft. So I just caught that flathead and he ripped the front of the lure, so I've shortened it. Hopefully I can get another fish out of it, but that's the only downside. Great lure, but soft. So you're going to go through a fair few of them. So when you do catch a fish, just make sure you make a mental note in relation to where you were, what depth you're in, how far out off the bank you were. And that particular flathead, he was not pressed in really hard on the edge of the rocks. There would be some big flathead pressed right in on the edge of the drop of the rocks here. But you don't want to sort of fish that area because you'll lose too much gear. So that fish was sitting out a little bit, maybe 10 feet out off the the bottom of the ledge where the rocks are. And that was enough for him. He was happy sitting there, which is good for me because you can fish it without losing your lure. And this particular area, I don't choose to fish here with a vibe when I'm on the actual rock wall because, yeah, double trebles is a recipe for disaster. When you move a little bit further down this spot, yeah, sure, you're out a little bit, it's a bit clearer. You can throw vibes, but not in it here on the rock wall. It's a place to throw your, got to throw that single hook. A 1/2 ounce is working really good here. It's getting down pretty quick. Just keeping small flicks, keeping it close to the bottom so it doesn't get blown away by the tide. Small flathead. Keeper butt and the gulp nemesis. Another flathead. Yeah, another nice flathead. I'm just after 4 for Brandon and I for a nice feed tonight on the cob. Don't know whether I foul hooked him or he's not too bad a fish. Oh, it's the last fish I need for a feed. I just foul hooked that one, got him slightly up under the gill plate. It's pulling him sideways. Well, that's 4 really good eating flathead for Brandon and I for fish for tea. That's all I need to keep for this session. So the technique I'm using with the gulp nemesis is very basic, just soft plastic fishing 101. Just punching it out, letting it hit the bottom, and I'm just doing 2 quick hops, just hop off the bottom, and usually about 2 revolutions of the reel. It just seems to be that hop, 2 revolutions of the reel, which keeps you in contact with it. Seems to work really good, just really simple and basic. Sometimes you get a bit bored with the one retrieve and you start to mix it up a little bit through the day, but in reality you could just fish all day with just hop, 2 revolutions, hop, 2 revolutions. It seems to work really good. And I think the stronger the tide flows, you know, the shorter the hop, the fish must be pretty close to the bottom when the tide's running pretty hard, hugging the bottom. It's certainly been quite effective on, oh, there's a fish. Another flathead. It's certainly been quite effective on the flathead today. Just hop that lure, moment it hit the bottom, yeah, that flathead hit it. And I'm fishing with a 1/2 ounce, which I really like in this, in the deeper water, you know, like not a huge flathead, but certainly a keeper. But I don't need any more flathead today, so he can go home. Oh, thanks for coming, mate. I've got Brandon on the boat with me. He's jumped on the boat. Haven't fished with Brandon in so long. I'm not sure how he's going to go tonight. It's a big juice night tonight. I might have to modify it a bit because Brandon's on the boat. I don't want him to get bored. But it's a big moment because it's a maiden cook up on the boat of the cob. I just bought myself a cob. I've been using it at home cooking. It's really good. So Just going to have a cook up on it tonight. I think what we might use is might use the griddle on it tonight. Oh well, the cob grill seems to be going all right, Brandon. I was going to, I kept 4 good flathead, and I was going to have a fish cook up, but I I got lazy and couldn't be bothered filleting and skin them, so I went to the actual plan B and went to the sausages and the onions, which Brandon and I like when we're out fishing. So, but anyway, yeah, the cob's good. So, like I said, I've got Brandon in the boat with me tonight. And I have got 2 big heavy outfits in the boat, but I don't think I'll worry about that tonight because they might be a bit boring for Brandon, you know, like, so I think what I might take the opportunity to do is, if I'm going to go down the rabbit hole in relation to Jewfish in the river overnight, Brandon and I are just going to cruise around all over the river and just find places where there's actual light, where the light's projecting out enough onto the water to give us some light where we can actually use soft vibes and, you know, some plastics and that kind of thing, and see if we can actually pick up any flathead or jewfish like that. It's always really interesting to just cruise around in your local river and find out where all the lights are you know, like on the water, because this is an industrial city and there's probably a reasonable amount of it. But anyway, let's have a cruise around, Brandon, and see what we can do, yeah?
That out of there.
Yeah, you got that nemesis all the way down, mate. Yeah, not too bad a flatty. Hit something here, Brandon. I don't know what it is. Oh, just a flatty. Must have foul hooked him. No. Just a flatty, and I hit him in the side. Nice eating size, but. Oh, yeah. Well. That's wharf bashing, Brandon. In around the wharves with the Gulp Nemesis. Another flathead. Let him go. Another keeper, but I'll let him go. Let's get him on the thumb on bum. Oh, he's strong. Let's get him. Oh, got him. I don't like that, mate. Oh, teabagging, Brandon. Oh, look at that. No, he got him in the mouth, but... Oh, another decent flatty. Up onto the gill latch. Oh. Oh, yeah. Another nice fish, mate. You can go home, bro. Keep a look. They're all that sort of similar size, aren't they? Solid fish. Another one.
What is it?
Oh, wow.
What the fuck is that?
It's a hairtail. That's awesome. Bring him up.
He actually pulled really hard for a second and then just went limp noodle.
Wow,
Look at
Brandon.
that. It's
A little hairtail.
night of weird catches.
That's cool, isn't it? Yeah, I apologise for the footage in relation to some of the jewfish I caught late in the session there. My transmitter on the wireless microphone had actually gone flat, so I'd lost all the audio there, so I'm just going to try to mix it in a little bit with some chest mount stuff I had and maybe a little bit of music. But anyway, it's a learning curve. I've only just got the Rode Wireless 2 go, and it had lasted a long time, but the battery had gone flat, so... A little bit better than one you got, a little bit. Not real big, but still. 10-pound braid. They're always fun on light tackle. All right, that'll do, Brandon and I for the night. I've only got my shorts on, no shoes, and it's starting to get pretty goddamn cold. But anyway, you know, like, so all in all, it's been like a fun session. Caught some really nice flathead before it got dark. Ground away, got some flathead in the dark, and luckily enough, Brandon and I managed to catch about 3 jewfish, I think. You know, one of them probably about 75, another one close to 70, and a smaller one. But it's good, you know. I caught some jewfish, which is a start as we go down the rabbit hole. And I'll tell you what the standout lure was today was the gold nemesis in, I think that's blue neon or pilchard they call it, but mate, on a 1/2 ounce jig head, on a 5/0, what a weapon of a lure. Awesome. So it's been really good. There's our fish box on the Brandon. I just wanted to get a feed of flathead. So throw a few back. So I just kept 6, but you know, nice eating size flathead, really good. So yeah, that's cool. I'll have them over the weekend with Leah and I. Give Brandon one. I've got 5. Brandon's got. I'll give Brandon a couple. That way we're well within our limit. And what happened tonight was I used the cob for the first time. So Brandon and I had a nice feed. Pulled into the boat dock out of the wind, and so that was really good. Anyway, it's been great to be out fishing with Brandon. Haven't fished with Brandon in a long time, so that's really good. So anyway, until the next episode of Chasing Jewfish in the Hunter River, this is Dave signing off. And always remember, let's get some.